Hey everyone, back with another Essen 2018 preview. This time we're doing Ghosts of the Moor from Tasty Minstrel Games. And this is another game we'll have at the PAX Unplugged First Look area, so feel free to stop by. We'll have people that can teach you, and you can check out the game for yourself. But let's get right into it. First off, who designed this game? You'll notice right on the box here, this is the famous Kramer and Kiesling design duo. But it's actually a remake of one of their older games, 2005's That's Life. So if you remember That's Life back from then, well, maybe you're too old to be watching YouTube, but hey, I digress. Essentially, this is a roll and move game, but there is a little bit more than that going on. I describe it as a slightly less mean version of a deep sea adventure, in the sense that the first two-thirds of the board here, you're going to be collecting, hopefully collecting lots of good tiles here, trying not to lose them in the back third of the board here, and then get some nice points based on how quickly you can finish the map. So the gist of a turn is take the die, roll it, pick one of your 5 characters. If you happen to be setting this up for more than the 2 players I have, you'll get less characters, all the way down to only 2 for a 5-player game. But being that there's 5 each for the 2 different players, you roll the die, pick one and only one, use all those points to move forward on a space. So say we roll a 5, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, land right there. And this will continue on and on until you get to the end of the race. The first person to get to the end, first pawn, not necessarily individual player, will get 6 points, and this will keep dialing down. Only the first 5 characters that finish will get these sort of end game bonus points. All the other points come from having large sets of identical tiles. There's a couple different tile types out here and uses a pyramid scoring, so you get some pretty big points if you have a big set. You'll get all those points, subtract the numbers on ghost tiles, then add in any bonus chips. That's it. Highest points win. So the only thing left to describe here is how do you actually get these tiles versus how do you potentially lose them towards the back of the map here. This map's going to get very crowded, and if you manage to be the only person on a tile, when you exit it, you get to take the tile. Now you'll notice the first 15 or so spaces here are double tile spaces. The next 5 are single tiles. You only get to take the top tile. That's still pretty good. If you are the only person here, you move on, some number of tiles based on your roll, you're going to take the top tile. Oops, it was a 6-point ghost. Not necessarily what you wanted, but hey, that's life. Is that why they called it That's Life? Anyway, that's how you pick up a tile. Like I said, it's going to get pretty crowded, and these things will stack on top of each other. So there'll be situations here where 2 players are sharing the same space. Maybe they got multiple pawns on the same space, and there'll be a lot of, no, you move first, no, you move first. And eventually someone will give up and start moving their pawns off, leaving you to be the last pawn standing, get to collect that tile on the way out. If you happen to land on a space that is empty, does not have a pawn, does not have a tile, when you exit the empty tile, you will have to look at the symbol printed on it, discard a matching symbol from your collection. If you don't have that, you get to discard a ghost, which is a good thing. But if you don't have a ghost, you must be doing really good, and you're going to get further penalized by having to discard 2 tiles from your collection, of your choice, at least. There's one other aspect to this, where if you land on an empty space, at the end of your turn, you can deploy your plank. Each player gets one of these plank tiles, and you could say, well, I know if I landed here, next turn when I leave, I'm going to have to pay the penalty because I'm exiting a space with no tile. So I will insert my plank and help me walk across the swamp. Even better, you're the only person here, so when you exit it, you're probably going to take the plank with you. Unless, your opponent catches up, lands on the space with you. When you leave, you're not the only person there. Sorry, you're going to leave the plank sitting in the swamp. That's pretty much the entirety of the game. I haven't gotten a full playthrough of it yet, but you can see some of the dynamics here. You do have an incentive to race towards the end. Maybe you'll start picking up a lot of good tiles here if you beat the pack out of the gate, and you'll probably get the 6 points, but you're really going to suffer as you go through this back third. The reason the people who lag behind are going to potentially benefit is that when tiles are forfeited in here, they're actually going to start growing back from the end of the race. So these last couple spaces will start filling in as people, start to rush through looking for the big points and get themselves penalized by leaving empty spaces. Hopefully a lot of ghosts don't line up. Hopefully you get good stuff that you want. There's even an extra plank out there. And that's pretty much everything there is to this game. Plays in 30 minutes or less, 2 to 5 players, ages 8 and up. That is Ghosts of the Moor from Tasty Minstrel Games and Cromler and Kiesling. Thanks for watching, everybody.